In the studio, it is former Conservative Special Advisor James Price. Hello, James. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me here.
What else can I call you? There's another... You're in some other organisation.
Oh, so many.
So many.
I collect these things, like little tin medals on Idi Amin.
He's a winger for Arsenal, played for England last week. Oh, man, there were so many talents. All right, let's talk about this extraordinary developing story as we speak. The net zero issue is tearing Labour apart. Now, you know, we have spoken... many commentators, many members of the public have spoken for some time now about the fact the public are sick and tired of crazy Ed Miliband's net zero lunacy. I mean, it is zealotry taken to extraordinary lengths. And what we're mainly saying is, why are we having to pay the highest energy prices in the world, 5 times higher than America, when we only produce less than 1% of the world's pollution, of the world's carbon emissions? So it doesn't really matter what we do. It won't make any difference. But, of course, Ed won't budge, nor will Keir. Anyway, guess who stepped into the fray today? It is Tony Blair. And Tony Blair has made the point that I just made. He said, look, people are not going to put up with this. They're going to say, why are we spending all this money? Why are we being made poorer and colder? Because, you know, all those heat pumps, otherwise known as cold pumps, won't exactly keep you very warm. Why are we being made poorer and colder on the back of a net zero mania based on the fact that we don't even make any difference to the world's pollution? So Tony Blair has today called for a scaling back of Labour's green claptrap, and the Downing Street have issued a statement and said, oh, no, we're going to carry on. Something's afoot, isn't it?
Yeah, it's absolutely extraordinary, isn't it? And of course, famous, noted Blairites, Kevin O'Sullivan and James Price, weighing in here behind Tony Blair. It's a peculiar feeling, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I just said to James off air, I said, man, this is a weird position. We have to back Tony Blair, but I do.
No, he's backing us, right? I think if this stuff had worked, he would have been carrying on being gung-ho about it. Tony Blair might be evil in certain ways, but he's a smart guy and he understands the writing on the wall that this government cannot survive if, as you say, we keep having 5 times the expensive energy that America has got. Yeah. You go to America and you realise that people, you know, they heat their houses. They don't have to ration heating in the same way. Think about the winter fuel payment for Argo that we've had recently, that will happen again this winter, by the way. It will keep getting worse and worse for us. I suspect what Tony Blair is doing here is trying to push what social scientists would call the Overton window. This is the kind of area of accepted discourse, trying to push it in a certain direction to give Keir Starmer the ability to sack Ed Miliband in a big cabinet reshuffle that comes.
This is what former Prime Minister Sir Tony said, that it is wrong that people are being asked to make financial sacrifices and changes in lifestyle when they know that their impact on global emissions is minimal. That's my point. Tony Blair putting it better than I did there. Number 10 responded by saying, we will reach net zero in a way that treads lightly on people's lives. Oh, yeah, right. But not by telling them how to live or behave. Clearly, there's going to be a range of views, but we are of the view that this is an enormous economic opportunity, and the Prime Minister has made clear we are already seeing the benefit. No, we're not. No, we're not. Miliband told us that fairly soon after they got in and his green claptrap was brought into play, that our energy bills would fall by £300. So far, they're up by £300 and still rising. I mean, we are seeing the lie of Miliband's nonsense, aren't we?
Yeah, absolutely right. And I think that he won't be able to deal with the fact that all of his rhetoric, we can call it probably here lies, don't match up with reality, right? This is why you don't tend to find that many left-wing people working in businesses in the real world, because their mad ideas don't survive. They have to go into politics or into universities and places like that to make it work. Look at what's happened on the continent yesterday across Spain and Portugal. They lost power. Obviously, as a historian, we can make the joke that Spain and Portugal have been losing power since the 17th century, but slightly more acute yesterday. Slightly more acute yesterday, and we actually saw that there was some power failures as well in the UK around the same time, a couple of power stations in the UK. And we come very dangerously close already to our national grid not being able to handle it and seeing total blackout. You can only imagine how devastating that would be if it came to pass.
Absolutely, and many experts, we're going to be doing this story later on in the show, about 9 o'clock if you're interested, are saying that the reason, the probable reason for this mass blackout in Spain that spread to Portugal and parts of France was an over-reliance on unreliable renewable energy, wind, solar power, wind, etc. I was just saying that we're showing a picture of, it's a completely black picture. That was Spain yesterday, folks. So yesterday, 60% of Spain's grid was being run on renewables. Last Wednesday, 100% for the first time ever. Now, that's all very well. By the way, solar panels work better in Spain than they do here. But apparently, if you over-rely on renewables, it makes your grid unstable. And they're saying this is probably why they had this mass power outage yesterday. And the way we're going, it'll happen here soon. And the day it happens here, Miliband's gone.
Yeah, absolutely right. Well, let's hope that the day never comes. Yeah. Let's hope the Miliband goes before that day comes as well.
If it means getting rid of Miliband, let's do it tomorrow. You know.
It would be worth it, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
You know, and as you say, Spain is a great place to do some of these renewables, especially solar. Look, if you can get basically free energy coming down from the sun, that's a great idea. But the rest of the economics have to work, and all the boring bits, the way that you connect these things up to the existing national grid, that has to work as well. A lot of our national grid is very, very old. Obviously, we were the first people to start using electricity properly, and we've not invested in these things at all. And yet, instead of doing this boring but very serious and important work, Miliband is going around doing all these mad conversations, not understanding how the economics works. He did a terrible interview the other day where he could not understand, the interviewer could not get into his head that adding tax onto whatever the international cost of energy would be, if we add more tax on it than we do than other countries, then our power would cost more. And the guy could not get this very, very simple concept into his head. He's in charge of this stuff.
But he should have got his ukulele out and said the answer lies blowing in the wind. But his energy ideas are incoherent. They're unscientific. They're not right. They're wrong. Everybody knows it. And here's the deal. In America, when old Trump got in and just said that's the end of net zero, no more green claptrap, drill baby drill, their energy prices are now plummeting. And the Americans love it, obviously, and British people love it too. They're looking across the Atlantic and saying, why can't we have this? Why can't we frack? There's the biggest reservoir of shale gas in all of Europe lying untouched under Lincolnshire right now. That would give this country cheap energy for 10 years. We're not allowed to frack because that'll cause an earthquake. That's crap.
It's complete nonsense. Crap. And the technology has been proven in America to be incredibly, incredibly effective. It's why America no longer needs to involve itself in the Middle East in the same ways, because it's actually now a massive energy exporter. So it doesn't need to go and get involved in the forever wars that Trump used to talk about. And yet we're not doing it here. We're poorer, we're colder, old people are dying in their beds because of it. And when you've got that kind of energy superabundance, you can do all kinds of other things. You can invest in the cool AI technologies that need loads of power. You can do all this stuff. So the fracking that we could be doing now could be used to actually fund all the nice, cuddly renewables, if that's what you wanted to do. It could be used to fund the new, exciting next-generation nuclear technology. We could have Rolls-Royce, a great British company, put a small modular nuclear reactor on every coastal town, unlimited, clean, free energy forever. And we don't do that because we listen to a bunch of green morons, probably being funded by places like the Kremlin, who want us to stay poor.
And we're going to go to break in just a second, but I don't think you can overestimate the significance of Tony Blair's intervention today. He's thrown a grenade into this, hasn't he? And I believe that in the fullness of time, sooner, hopefully, rather than later, it will lead to the end of Ed Miliband as our net zero secretary. What do you reckon?
Yeah, it's a really, really good point. I think Blair and Starmer are probably very tight with one another. Blair probably the only person that really knows quite what Starmer is going through. And again, however much of a wrong and Blair might have been in destroying lots of our constitution in lots of ways, he's a smart politician. And if he's doing this, as I say, it's creating that space for Starmer to junk Miliband. And although I don't want to see the Labour Party do very well in anything, getting rid of him would be good for the country, and so let's do it.
Also, I mean, you know, we're not Blair fans, but he's not a stupid man. And in private, I bet he's not talking well of Ed Miliband, put it that way. I bet he's got a few names for him. So this is a once-in-a-lifetime offer, folks. It's James Price, Kevin O'Sullivan. Good for Tony Blair. Go, Tony. You will never hear that again.